Number 10, prohibited content. You agree not to violate any law, contract, intellectual property, or other third-party right, not to commit a tort, and that you are solely responsible for your conduct while on the Twitch services. You agree that you will comply with these terms of service and Twitch's community guidelines and will not 1. Create, upload, transmit, distribute, or store any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable. Okay. So don't break the law and don't create or put on any inaccurate or unlawful content. And it sounds like just don't try to start SHIT. Part 2. You agree that you will comply with these terms of service and Twitch's community guidelines and will not impersonate any person or entity, falsely claim an affiliation with any person or entity, access the Twitch services accounts of others without permission, forge another person's digital signature, misrepresent the source, identity, or content of information transmitted via the Twitch services, or perform any other similar fraudulent activity. So you won't commit fraud or try to pretend to be someone else. Simple. Number 3, you will not send junk mail or spam to users of the Twitch services, including without limitation, unsolicited advertising, promotional materials, or other solicitation material. Bulk mailing of commercial advertising. Chain mail, informational announcements, charity requests, petitions for signatures, or any of the preceding things related to promotional giveaways, such as raffles and contests, and other similar activities. Which is interesting. So you can host a promotion on Twitch, but that doesn't mean that you should use this platform for like a mailbox or as a doorstep to to users, so that you can just chain email them or try to send them stuff this way. This is for your channel only. Number 4, you will not harvest or collect email addresses or other contact information of other users from the Twitch services, which is another way of saying you won't, as I just mentioned, you won't try to mine information from them the way that Twitch and other services mine that information from you. Number 5, you will not defame, harass, abuse, threaten, or defraud users of the Twitch services or collect or attempt to collect personal information about users or third parties without their consent. So no trying to trick people. Number 6, you will not delete, remove, circumvent, disable, damage, or otherwise interfere with security-related features security-related features of the Twitch services or user content. B, features that prevent or restrict use or copying of any content accessible through the Twitch services. C, features that enforce limitations on the use of Twitch services or user content. Or D, the copyright or other proprietary rights services on the Twitch services or user content. Which is to say, you won't mess with their security or their interfaces, basically. That would otherwise, you won't mess with their enforcing of these measures, basically. You won't try to tinker with the security systems that would allow you to circumvent these processes to get around the punishment. Anyway, number 7, you will not reverse engineer, decompile, disassemble, or otherwise attempt to discover the source code of the Twitch services or any part thereof, except and only to the extent that this activity is expressly permitted by the laws of your jurisdiction or residence. Don't touch our source code. Got it. Number 8, you will not modify, adapt, translate, or create derivative works based upon the Twitch services or any part thereof, except and only to the extent that such activity is expressly permitted by applicable law, notwithstanding this limitation. Okay. So unless it's expressly permitted by law to do so, we cannot make derivative works of Twitch the way that Twitch can make derivative works of our user content, or modify, adapt, or translate it the way that Twitch can modify, adapt, and translate it. So, part 9, you will not interfere with or damage the operation of the Twitch services or any user's enjoyment of them by any means, including uploading or otherwise disseminating viruses, adware, spyware, worms, or other malicious code. Of course, people will try to do this anyway, but yes, don't try to ruin our business or our operations with malware, with computer viruses, etc. Number 10, you will not relay email from a third party's mail servers without the permission of that third party. Relay email from a third party's mail servers without the permission of that third party. I'm not entirely sure what that term means, so we're going to copy that also for look for more questions later. But we shall continue. Number 9 of prohibited conduct. You will not access any website, server, software application, or other computer resource owned, used, and or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services, by means of any robot, spider, scraper, crawler, or other automated means for any purpose, or bypass any measures Twitch may use to prevent or restrict access to any website, server, software application, or other computer resource owned, used, and or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services. Basically, there are bots out there, and they're saying just you won't access any of our services, our website or our services, with a bot of some kind. We don't like bots. Is the general message. Is the message I get. Part 11, no, parts 12, Jesus, is, I need to watch my language. Part 12, forgive me, I have sinned, is manipulate identifiers in order to disguise the origin of any user content transmitted through the Twitch services. You will not manipulate identifiers in order to disguise the origin of any user content transmitted through the Twitch services. Oh, so you won't try to disguise who you are or who's the original user of or creator of some or poster of some content was. Just all sorts of deception, basically. Number 13, you will not interfere with or disrupt the Twitch services or servers or networks connected to the Twitch services or disobey any requirements, procedures, policies, or regulations of networks connected to the Twitch services. Use the Twitch services in any manner that could interfere with, disrupt, negatively affect, or inhibit other users from fully enjoying their Twitch services, or that could damage, disable, overburden, or impair the functioning of the Twitch services in any manner. So you won't try to actively interfere with or disrupt their networks or their servers. Yeah. Don't harm any of the tech that is functioning to keep it going. You will not use or attempt to use, this is number 14, you will not use or attempt to use another user's account without authorization from that user and Twitch. From that user and Twitch? Well, Twitch allows it as long as that user authorizes it, and they have the authority to be legally streaming on Twitch or using Twitch. Number 15, you will not attempt to circumvent any content filtering techniques we employ or attempt to access any service or area of the Twitch services that you are not authorized to access. It's just to say you will not try to sneak around our building and you'll not try to look into our files where they're clearly locked and they're not for you. We have employees, we have employee-only sections. Stay out of the employee-only sections if you are not an employee, is the general gist that I'm getting. None of this is legal advice. I need to make that set it ahead of time. I'm just reading it and saying my thoughts out loud. However, I did graduate from Pepperdine Law School in the class of 2021 or 2022. Let me see. I started in 2019 to 2020, and 2020 to 2021, 2021, sorry, class of 2022. Forgive me. So I might have a better understanding of some of these terms, some of these words, these phrases, than just the non-lawyer or law school educated person. But I did not take the bar. I'm not a bar licensed lawyer, so none of this is legal advice. This is just me reading out loud and talking my own thoughts out loud. Here we go. Continuing. So you will not attempt to indicate in any manner without our prior written permission that you have a relationship with us or that we have endorsed you or any products or services for any purpose. And I'll read the end. You will not use the Twitch services for any illegal purpose or in violation of any local, state, national, or international law or regulation, including without limitation laws governing intellectual property and other proprietary rights, data protection, and privacy. So you won't break any laws. You won't use Twitch to break laws, and you will not lie about having a business, some sort of relationship with Twitch, when you know good and darn well that we don't endorse anybody and we have very few relationships, or I don't know. They make it clear, it sounds like, with written permission, who's allowed to say they have a relationship with them, who they endorse, etc. That covers 16 and 17. And that's the last 17 is the last part of that list. And then we finish. To the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch takes no responsibility and assumes no liability for any user content or for any loss or damage resulting therefrom, nor is Twitch liable for any mistakes, defamation, slander, libel, omissions, falsehoods, obscenity, pornography, or profanity you may encounter when using the Twitch services. Your use of the Twitch services is at your own risk. In addition, these rules do not create any private right of action on the part of any third party or any reasonable expectation that the Twitch services will not contain any content that is prohibited by such rules. Let me look at that in. To the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch takes no responsibility, so there's no liability for any user content or for any, right, nor is it liable for any mistakes you may encounter. So yeah, like you're gonna post stuff. If people come at you for the things that you post, Twitch is not responsible for that, like outside of the guidelines. If you happen to run into slander, libel, falsehoods, even pornography or profanity, that's not Twitch's fault, because they already made that clear that that's not part of their terms, or that those are, like, I want to say expellable terms, or that like you revocable license, and it's some of those things, of course, are illegal or against the law. So yes, if you should happen to see those things on Twitch, it's not Twitch's fault. You take your own risk. Twitch is not liable for any statements or representations included in user content. Twitch does not endorse any user content, opinion, recommendation, or advice expressed therein, and to the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch expressly disclaims any and all liability in connection with user content. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch reserves the right to remove, screen, or edit any user content posted or stored on the Twitch services at any time and without notice, including where such user content violates these terms of service or applicable law, and you are solely responsible for creating backup copies of and replacing any user content you post or store on the Twitch services at your sole cost and expense. Any use of the Twitch services in violation of the foregoing violates these terms of service and may result in, among other things, termination or suspension of your rights to use the Twitch services. For residents of the European Union or the European Economic Area, the United Kingdom, or Switzerland who are acting as a consumer. Number one, Twitch will only remove, screen, or edit user content for justified reasons, including without limitation where such user content violates these terms of service or applicable law. And two, except where such notice would be unreasonable or legally prohibited. Considering the specific circumstances of the individual case, Twitch will, without delay, notify you of the reason for taking the relevant step. So once again, like, Twitch is distant from any user content that is posted. Like, Twitch is just a platform. It's just the soapbox that you can stand on top of. It's not endorsing any opinions. It's not promoting any opinions. It's not promoting anything that you actually see on there. It's just there to be a soapbox, and it's trying its best to make sure that the contract makes it clear that the soapbox is just for X, Y, and Z purposes, which are all lawful and, not sort of looking to antagonize another user. And, but Twitch is going to be monitoring, of course, their platform like a hawk to make sure that all the content, all the people on top of the soapboxes are not spewing content that breaks either their terms or the law, and they will remove such content at their discretion at any time if they feel it violates terms or law. And if they do that, then it's gone. You are responsible for making copies and or backups of all the content you create. That is on you. And if you're in Europe, one of these European countries, the UK, Switzerland, the EU, then you'll get a reason why, and they'll try to keep it reasonably timed to let you know. Which brings us to simulcasting. Simulcasting. 1 moment.